comes to the trauma you say you've experienced, is that something you were like very aware of before you got into it?
Well, that's a good question because, I see a lot of clients, not for sacred sexuality, but for healing in general, like shamanic healing, Reiki, and other things. And what I notice is that because it's one's story, we are used to it. It's like the fish that is in water, so it doesn't realize that it's in water. So for anybody that has had a traumatic experience, it was just what it was. And unless there is the possibility of reflecting upon it, maybe talking with somebody about it, and really processing that experience, some people just say, oh yeah, it's normal. This guy just touched my boob one day, or this guy raped me, but it's what happens. So some people might not be able to really understand, no, this was not safe, it didn't feel safe, and now my body has this memory, and every time that somebody is going to touch me, I feel a little bit like an intense rejection. So some people might not have that awareness, but once they dive into it and they make it something important, then that awareness starts expanding and becoming more of a healing process.
So I guess when it comes to like sexual trauma, you say, it's a huge thing so many women experience, and it is a huge block, right, for them. So like what kind of impact does that have on people?
Well, depending on the person, they might react in different ways. So that's why we cover many different kinds of exercises. Normally I offer a 9-month training. It's actually available online, so people can do it all around the world. And it's 9 months because then we cover every different aspect that can come from having that sexual trauma. So one of the aspects is going to be that we start numbing ourselves and just not feeling enough. So our hearts are not open, our bodies are not open, and we start just numbing ourselves. Like we are almost like indifferent. That's one thing. Other people might go into, as you were saying, more promiscuity, like going out there and, okay, so let's just have a lot of it. So that's another possibility that I also encounter. Then other people is going to become bitter. So they're going to become really bitter and start resenting other women and resenting men. So there is a strange dynamic between the same gender but also the opposite gender. Then other people is just going to be afraid of sexuality and just feel that inability to have sexuality or even to have an orgasm perhaps. So it depends on the person. So all these things are the different things that can show, and every person is a little bit different.
When it comes to experiencing the divine, do you think sexual trauma is an impediment to that at all?
Yes. So when we talk about experiencing the divine, we're talking about, I don't know if you heard about Abraham Hicks' scale of different emotions. So the idea is the highest one is this love and joy and all the beautiful things. So ecstasy is like above that, it's like through the roof. It's amazing. Whereas being in a traumatic situation is like the lowest that we can feel. It's like really feeling in fear, feeling unsafe, feeling just like terror. So we're talking about very different things. So if something that brings us normally pleasure now is connected to something that brings us feelings of unsafety and fear, then that's going to be an impediment, because every time we're going to open that door, we're going to remember what happened, and it's going to bring that sensation of, I cannot do this. So in those cases, of course, having a partner that is understanding, that is patient, that wants to explore intimacy in a different way is going to be very important. And sexuality in women is so different from sexuality in men. So very patient men for that.
Yeah, that's definitely very helpful.